I bought this 2002 Volvo V70 cross country 2.4 turbo automatic at WeBuyCars for only 29,000 Rand. Now, over the last 3 months, I've done a few fixes and a whole lot of preventative maintenance. Now, if I had taken this to a specialist workshop from the start, this car would probably have owed me more than 70,000 Rand. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down all the costs to get this car in a roadworthy condition and to get it reliable. I'm going to break it down into the admin and purchasing costs, the costs I had to pay to fix stuff that was wrong with it, specialist tools that I had to buy for this car specifically, and then servicing the car. So let's go. Now, about 3 months ago, I bought this car at WeBuyCars on an online auction, sight unseen. It was pretty dodgy. I would not recommend doing it, but it was very cheap. I've looked at it. I had an eye on it from about 40,000, then it dropped to 30, and then when it reached 29,000, I just bid on it, and I was the only person there. Now, to get the car home cost me almost 5,000 Rand. That includes the 2,400 Rand WeBuyCars admin fee, 350 Rand for the change of ownership, which is optional, but I asked them to do it. The trailer hire was 750 Rand, and diesel cost me about 960 Rand to get it here. Now, in this admin cost, I also included the 400 Rand I spent today to get it roadworthy, and it passed first time. So that brings us to 4,860 just to get the car home and to get all the admin done. Next, I spent 4,000 Rand on fixing stuff that was wrong with the car. The first thing was a leak in one of the turbo hoses. This was mentioned on the Inspectify inspection report. Now, I bought a piece of hose at a local spare shop for 50 Rand. That fixed it, but I decided to just replace the intercooler hose and the turbo to intake hose with the proper kit from AliExpress, which cost 1,000 Rand, which includes shipping and the import duties. The other big issue was a low coolant stop engine warning that was on the dash. That was also on the inspection photos when I bought the car. That is quite serious because if there's a warning that's not accurate, you won't know when to worry about it. And that ended up being the sensor in the coolant bottle. So I replaced the coolant tank, the expansion tank, with the sensor with a new one from Amazon. That was 1,000 Rand, which includes shipping and import duties. Then there was a small cap that is on the back of the intake cam. It's just a plastic cap. When you open it up to do the timing, you destroy the cap, and a replacement one from AliExpress was 200 Rand, all included. Luckily, you can find a lot of parts for these on AliExpress and Amazon, so it's not as difficult as people tell you. Next, the aircon didn't work. That was also on the inspection report. I just regassed it, 750 Rand, and now it blows ice cold. And it's been working for a couple of weeks now, so it's not a major leak if there is a leak. And then another issue that I found after quite a bit of digging was it struggled to start. It didn't struggle to start, but it cranked for a very long time. And that ended up being a cam aperture ring on the back of the exhaust cam. And that thing was totally mangled. Someone, a previous mechanic, tried to fix it by welding it, and there was a whole bunch of sealant on it, and that meant the cam sensor couldn't properly read the ring. And I replaced it with a second-hand part that I got from some guy on a Volvo Facebook group, and that cost 1,000 Rand, which included the courier to get it to me. So in total, to fix the car, to just get it to run right and to sort all the issues that was visible and that was on the inspection reports, was 4,000 Rand. And I don't think that's too much. Now remember, all of these exclude the labor that it would have taken if I had taken it to a specialist. This was all my own time. I'm not a mechanic. You can go check out all the videos on these fixes on this channel. I'm just a normal guy working here outside. I don't even have a garage. I don't have a lift. I'm working on the floor, and I'm just teaching myself off YouTube and asking advice from people who know more than I do. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Then next, I spent just under 6,000 Rand for preventative maintenance. I am super paranoid, and the first thing I did, even before I drove the car around here in the estate, was to change the timing belt. Because I didn't know the condition of the timing belt or the age, there was nothing documented or written on the cam cover. I replaced the timing belt and the water pump. That was 2,500 Rand for the parts. It was Continental timing belt kit with a tensioner and the idler and Doll's water pump. Now that took me 3 days and a lot of swearing and a lot of back and forth and learning and watching YouTube, and eventually I got it done. I made 2 videos on that. I also fixed the timing that was incorrect from before, but only 2,500 Rand for all the parts, and it was easily found at AutoZone and a whole bunch of other places, but that was the cheapest. Then I replaced the engine oil, oil filter and air filter, and the fuel filter. That was 1,000 Rand for all the filters and another 500 Rand for the oil, fully synthetic oil. Now again, that was just ordered through AutoZone. I replaced the coolant with proper Volvo spec coolant. That was 100 Rand per bottle, 5 bottles in total. I drained it so many times as I diagnosed the coolant leak. But anyways, the coolant itself was only 500 bucks. It took some shopping around to find it, but I eventually found it at a local spare shop in town. And then the automatic transmission fluid, I flushed it or did a drain and fill, 4 liters. I think in total it's about 10 to 12 liters, but I drained and filled it once to renew the ATF. And it needs a specific type. I think it's JWS 3309 or something like that. I can't remember. But Toyota T4 also works for this car. That was 500 Rand for a 4-liter tin. And then the Fuchs power steering fluid, 2 1-liter tins, was 800 in total, because I did a flush of the power steering fluid, which was brown reddish, and it should be green. So in total, 5,800 Rand for preventative maintenance to make this thing reliable and run good. So now I can trust this thing, and I'll probably drive this to Cape Town. I think the only risk remaining is that there might be some coolant leak developing over time. And that's why I didn't want to replace all the hoses. That would be overkill. But I would just monitor it and maybe take some spare hoses and clamps just in case, and monitor that coolant level. And that's why that was the first thing that I fixed. Well, it wasn't the first thing, but it was the most important thing I fixed, was the coolant level sensor. And then there were a whole bunch of free parts that I got from Henk at Sweetotech service in Bloemfontein. So thanks again, Henk, for all the advice and all the help via WhatsApp. And free parts that I got was first the cam sensor and housing. It wasn't absolutely necessary, but the housing was cracked, so eventually it could have moved and then it would have thrown it out. I got a bunch of 7mm bolts. Again, it wasn't absolutely necessary. I mangled my own one from another bolt, but it's just nice knowing that it's back to OEM now. One thing that was necessary was this right front spring was, or shock, was finished. All the other 3 tested fine, but this one was finished, and I got a second-hand strut with spring from Henk again at Sweetotech service. An engine mount bracket, I haven't fitted it yet, but I got that for free. A strut brace bush on the left-hand side I got from one of the viewers. Thanks again, Bernard Lowe, for sending that to me. And then the power steering reservoir, I think it was leaking, so I got a spare from Henk again. So a bunch of free parts. The most important of those to fix the car was the right front strut. Almost forgot, specialist tools that I needed in order to do the jobs. One thing was an oil filter wrench, 150 bucks from Takealot. That was very easy. And then a cam locking tool to lock the rear of the cams in order to correct the timing. Now, it's not always necessary, but if the timing is out, you do need it to set the timing correctly. And that I bought for 1,000 Rand from Amazon, which includes shipping and import duties. So only 1,150 for specialist tools. Now in total, that got me to 44,810. So just shy of 45,000 Rand all in for a whole lot of preventative maintenance, fixing all the issues that the car had on, and buying the specialist tools and all the admin and the roadworthy certificate. Now, I don't think that is excessive. That means this car actually cost me very little, and when I sell it, anything above 45,000 will be a profit to me. Now, obviously, this excludes my labor. So in order to paint a more complete picture, I estimated what I would think a workshop would charge. Obviously, I spent a whole lot more time than what a professional would. Like the timing belt took me 3 days on and off to get it done. A professional will probably be able to do it in 6 hours. But anyways, I'm gonna put up a list of what I think a specialist would charge, and the rate I set at 850, which includes VAT. I think it might be more. And that would bring us to a total hours to do all the jobs that I did, or total spend of 25,500. Now, I think that's maybe on the conservative side, but that brings us to a grand total of just over 70,000 Rand all in, if you were to just buy an old Volvo, sight unseen, from an auction, take it to a specialist and say, fix everything. Now, that might be quite scary and a very big surprise if you thought 29,000 is cheap and you're going to have a cheap runabout that's reliable. 70,000 is maybe more realistic, and that's also why the purchase price is so low. It's because there could be a whole lot of stuff that you will end up spending just to get the car to run right. On the other hand, 70,000 Rand for a fully sorted all-wheel drive wagon that is now reliable and can take you anywhere, what else can you buy for that money? So that's like quite high mileage, banged up Polo or even a Toyota Taz. So I don't think it's too bad, but you need to know what you're getting yourself into. And if you are not scared of wrenching on a car and learning, then you could up getting quite a good deal. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know if you think that was excessive, or if you think I made some mistakes with the estimates of the labor time. And let me know what you think I sold it for in the end. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.